20s is really hard, especially your early 20s or late teens. You've got so much coming at you from every direction, so many new things and experiences, a lot of which you are not really prepared or experienced or able to handle at that time. One of the things that I think so many people struggle with in this strange transitionary period of their lives is the idea of a career. Finding the right career for you and being successful in said career. I've been working for 5 years now since leaving university, and I've just had a lot of thoughts about the way we approach choosing the right career for us and how we define success once we start working. And I think one of the reasons that we find this so difficult is that we need to approach the idea of a career in a very different way. So most of what I'm going to talk about in this video is anecdotal or observational, but it's information that I know would have really helped me when I was at university and trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life. So focusing mainly on the UK school system, you have to start specialising in your subject area very, very early on. From the age of about 14, you have to choose which GCSEs you want to take. Those GCSEs will then affect which A-levels you're able to do. You're only allowed to take 4 A-levels, and those 4 A-levels will in turn define which degree you're able to take if you want to go to university. And then, of course, which degree you want to take is going to obviously affect what career you're able to do. So from the age of about 14, you have to start thinking about whether or not you want to go to university, and if you do, which subject you want to study. And at that age, your scope of vision as to what careers are available to you is so narrow. And I think one of the reasons for this is that we're taught in academic subjects which are so separate and distinct. You have history, geography, languages, maths, science, and you only think about careers in terms of which A-levels do I need to have that career? What will a degree in maths get me? What career can I have with that? And obviously, careers don't have their foundations in school subjects. They have their foundations in much more soft skills in so many varying forms than that. But that's the only way that we can think about it at that age. I remember having a conversation with my mum at around 16, saying, I definitely do not want to work in an office, mum. Absolutely, it's so boring. I think I had actually seen the TV show The Office and thought, oh, that looks grim. I don't want to work in an office. What job I wanted to do instead, I had zero idea. What I thought not working in an office meant for my career options, I had no idea. I just had the distinct idea in my head that I had to follow my dream, do something that defined me as a person, be passionate about my career and be successful at it. I think what I wanted in a career is what you tend to get out of a degree. Like, you can say, this is my degree, I got it in this subject, it was from this university, this was my grade. And it's a thing that you then have, and once you've achieved it, you've achieved it. And I think that's what I wanted from my career as well. And then you leave school, or you leave college, or you leave university, and nothing happens. Or maybe something happens very, very slowly. Maybe it takes you a long time to find even unpaid work. Maybe you end up doing internships. Maybe you end up having to take any old job in order to get money and not a proper career job. And then the panic starts to sink in and you think, well, I'm not doing my career. I got a good degree in a good subject. Why haven't I got the career that goes with that? This is what I was told I would do. If I did well at school, then I'd have a good job. And that is not forthcoming. And you realise that all of the skills that you have are academic based, and you don't really have that much business acumen, which is relevant for all careers. It doesn't matter if they are logical or numerical or creative, but does this period of indecisiveness need to be a bad thing? Do we need to be scared when we come out of university or school and not have a career right away? My theory for why we find this period in our lives so difficult is that we've been trained to compare ourselves to our peers all the time. at school, you have a very clear set of expectations at school and you know how to achieve them, and once you've achieved them you get maybe marks out of 10 or marks out of 100, and you can look at your neighbour and go, oh, you got 60, I got 65, I am achieving at a higher level than you are, and you understand your place in that society. Combined with this is the fact that each achievement only typically takes a couple of years. GCSEs in the UK take 2 years, A-levels take 2 years, a degree is 3 years, 4 years perhaps, but it's a defined period of time, and at the end of that, if you have worked hard, supposedly, you will have achieved your goals. A career, if we're going to use that term to talk about life after studying, although of course there are academic careers which are just as valid, does not span 2, 3, 5, even 10 years. Probably you are going to be working for the next 40 years at least of your life. And for me at least, I found that so scary and such a vast period of time, and I just couldn't fathom it, because I thought, well, you know, you have 5-year plans. At the end of 5 years, I should be surely running a team or something. I should have achieved by then. But really, as a percentage of my life that I'm going to spend working, these past 5 years and really the next 5 years are such a small smidgen of time. And it's okay to not have worked out your career 2, 3, 5, 10 years in. The way you should look at this is endless opportunities and flexibilities. Don't compare yourself to your peers anymore, because the playing field has massively changed. You're not all working in the same way. You're not all doing the same things. There are no marks out of 10. So there's no point in comparing yourself to people that you graduated with. If you're at 25, 26, 27 and they seem to be doing well, you don't really know what it is that they want to be doing. There is no benchmark for how life should be going, and in any case, life does not have to be defined by your career. All you need to understand about yourself is what's important to you. So be that making money, which by the way is a perfectly valid thing to care about. Is it making a difference in the wider world? Is it travel? Is it working in an industry that you're really passionate about? Is it helping others? Once you've worked out what really makes you happy and what your real goals are in life, then you can work out whether that's something that can be achieved by a job, or if that's something you can achieve in your spare time. I would never say to anyone that you can't fulfill your dreams. You absolutely can fulfill your dreams, but they may end up looking a little bit different to what you thought when you were at school, and that's okay. You might not get your dream job. You might end up working in an office, but you might end up making enough money that you can go travelling every possible weekend that you can, and you end up seeing the world. You're not seeing the world with your work. That doesn't mean you failed. You're still doing what you wanted to do. Some people have absolute vocations, like to be a doctor, or to be a writer, or to be a lawyer, and that's absolutely great. A lot of people don't really know what they want to do, but then your job doesn't have to be the most important thing in your life. For most of us, the reason we go to work is to make money. It would be fantastic if all of us could be completely and utterly fulfilled in every aspect of our life at our jobs. A lot of us aren't. Everything comes down to a balance at the end of the day. Or, considering you've got about 40 years to play with, your career could take several different turns. It's certainly not the case that once you start going down a path, it's too late to go back. Lots of people have 2 or even 3 career changes in their lifetime. And again, that's okay. You can think your whole life that you want to work in a particular industry, and then start working in it and think, actually, I don't think this is for me. And that's not a failure either. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that we need to get out of this habit of comparing ourselves to other people and defining ourselves by the things that we do and the things that we've achieved. Because if we do that, we're never ever going to be happy. And just to say that it's okay to be confused and not have any idea what you want to do with your life, that's fine. You don't need to be running a multi-million tech company by the time that you're 23. So I hope that all of those thoughts were somewhat coherent and went some way to being useful or helpful. I would love to continue this discussion because I think it's something that I see in a lot of people and in myself. So if you have anything else to add, please do let me know in the comments below. I would love to keep discussing this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I understand The Winter's Tale properly before going into the modern adaptations, because I do love Shakespeare, I love adaptations of Shakespeare, I do know a lot of Shakespeare quite well. This is one that I don't, so I really want to go into it understanding it and to be able to analyse it a little bit, so I remain as excited.